Attacks in Pakistan are viewed by India as having spillover effects, a factor that appears to have led New Delhi to cautiously welcome Washington's plans to defeat a resurgent Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan and Pakistan. And this topic is likely to arise when Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh meets President Obama for the first time Thursday on the sidelines of G-20 summit in London. President Obama Friday announced a regional strategy to combat terrorism in South Asia, and experts say India will be a natural partner as Washington consults with other countries of the region. Jonah Blank is a senior South Asia advisor with the Senate Foreign Relations Committee.
India is one of those neighbors, and it would be unrealistic to expect that India's views would not be taken into account as we try to look for a successful way forward in either Pakistan or in India.
Mr. Obama put Pakistan at the center of the fight against Osama bin Laden's Al-Qaeda network with his new strategy. Besides sending more troops to Afghanistan, he announced a huge increase of civilian development aid for the troubled tribal areas of Pakistan. Experts such as Lisa Curtis at the Heritage Foundation say the United States must deepen its partnership with India on counter-terrorism to ensure the security of Americans.
I think if you look at the goals of India and the U.S. and what they have, both in terms of the region and internationally, both sides really gain to benefit in terms of security of their citizens by increasing this kind of cooperation.
Indian officials say when Prime Minister Singh meets with President Obama in London, besides the global economic crisis, cooperation in combating terrorism will also be high on the agenda. And this should come as no surprise, says Carl Indefurt, a former U.S. Assistant Secretary of State who now teaches international affairs at George Washington University.
One thing that I saw recently is that the first trip for the new CIA Director, Leon Panetta, was to New Delhi. I think that's a signal that the administration hopefully understands that that is a key relationship that has to be furthered.
The issue of climate change also may be on the agenda when the two leaders meet. India and the United States are engaged in the UN-sponsored international negotiations on climate change, which resumed this week in Bonn, Germany. The U.S. delegation praised actions taken by developing countries such as India. Jonah Blank says Washington should make India a major partner in dealing with global warming.
The model for battling climate change throughout the whole world is not going to come from the United States, it's not going to come from China. It's going to come from India, because most of the rest of the world looks like India.
Washington experts say President Obama has inherited a strategic partnership with India that was strengthened after the Bush administration signed a civilian nuclear deal with New Delhi in 2008. But they say they expect President Obama to take the relationship a step further because of his stated intent to forge closer relations with the world's democracies. Ravi Khanna, VOA News, Washington.